Oksana, how did you find Carnivore?
It's a funny thing because I didn't find Carnivore. It was Carnivore who found me. And the story is that I was never looking really for things about nutrition or something because I always thought I know in general what is okay, what is not okay to eat. Um, like we all know, many of this knowledge was not completely correct. And one day it was in July this year, I was watching YouTube, and usually I watch like political discussions or analyses, and I never looked for nutrition content. And there was a video from a young German man, and the title of the video was "Why I Eat Only Meat Since 257 Days." And I say, what? And then I watched it and I say, that's strange. And this boy, he was like in hospital. They wanted to remove a part of his intestine because he was this, I always not pronouncing it correctly, this ulcerola something. I think you will know this sickness in the
Ulcerative
intestine.
colitis.
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, I can never pronounce it correctly, even when I'm speaking German. And but he said he want to think about it, and then he find carnivore. Actually, I don't like the word carnivore because not because of the word, but if I translate it in in German, is a, somehow not a pleasant word, and I like to call it as a more like a um, one of these channels, he called it proper human diet. And I think is a correct way to see it, or species appropriate diet. Because I think we are just animals, only we were having the luck to, because of some circumstances, to develop some skills what other animals couldn't develop. And we just forgot that we are a part of the animals. We think we are superior, we are better, we know better than nature. And yeah, so many times I thought in my life about the ancestral times, how we lived before, stuff like this. So it was a part of my daily life that I was always thinking like, but we are just like animals. So, and then when this nutrition thing came up, the questions I was always having, but I have never followed to look for the answers, they just resolved. So all questions I was having, the answers just came up. And of course, like everybody knows, if you click one video, after this one, the logarithms will find all this the same stuff. And of course, so I think after a week or so, I say I was looking at the screen of my TV and I say I can never eat again vegetables or fruits or chocolate. And then, but it was dripping into my head. And I know that it was correct. And I say, okay, how can I do it in my office? I'm working in an office. And how can I take meat? How I can? So I just tried it. I took a container where I can keep it a little warm. And I say, okay, it's working. So, okay. And then the next week, I I was still having like a salad in my fridge, like normal food, and I was invited to my friends, and luckily she was having cake, and I decided on that day already, okay, I will say goodbye to my normal food. So I make my a very nice salad, and I enjoyed it. I say, okay, this is my last one, and then I go to my friend and where she have the cake, and I say, I'm happy she was having cake. So I just say, this is my last piece of cake, and so I told goodbye to the normal food, and I just switch to the meat. And the funny thing is, I have not really eat meat in my life. I never bought meat. My husband likes meat, he bought, but I have never bought meat. So the first time in the supermarket, I go there, I say, what can I buy? I have never bought it. I don't know. Yeah. So, but of course, you learn and you buy and you just prepare. You watch some stuff how to do or what not to do, and actually everything was okay. And I think after 2 weeks, I thought, holy, I cannot say it because it's YouTube. I wish I could do it like 20 years ago. And now after 3 months, I think I should do it after 30 years ago. So, yeah. And like many of these people who are talking to you, they have a long history of being unwell and sick. And the funny thing is, it was for me too, but I thought I'm not unhealthy. And looking back, I think when I was end of my 20s, I'm now older than 50, I start to have some bone problems, not really like with the bones, but like blocking in the spine and some joint painment. But they could not see anything. They just told me like usually, yeah, you are not a young girl again, and this is how it is. And so since almost 25 years, I have like orthopedic problems. I always go to physiotherapy, and some things was helping, some not. And then since 2022, um, I was at home because I injured my shoulder, and but this one was an accident. And during this time, I got shingles. I don't know. Do I say it correct? Shingles, this nerve. Yes, but I've thought as I have this C vaccine, um, I thought immediately it was from the this vaccine. And since that day, I have never really recovered, and I got some strange symptoms. Like it was in summer, I got this shingles, and from the autumn, I start to have some problems like with my ligaments and my legs. I thought they are paining so much the muscles. If it gets a little stronger, I have to sit in a wheelchair. I cannot walk anymore. And but I never I was not knowing how, why is it? I was not, and actually I was so exhausted from my mind because of job, stress, everything. I have not really think. Actually, my doctor finds that I have a very low vitamin D level. So we have treated it, and after a few months, okay, some symptoms have disappeared. What was okay? And in the summer, I was 2023, last year, I was feeling quite okay. And then in the autumn, I think from November, I got I don't know, I just start to feel strange. I could not explain it. Like I'm living in Europe, and it's getting to winter time, and like in my office, normally I never sit in a t-shirt in my office because it's a little cold, of course, and I say I have to remove my long sleeve shirt. I'm sweating. I don't know why. Even I just get up, go to the door, come back. So there's nothing what I really did. And I say, this is strange. Of course, everybody in my age will tell me, this is like menopause, this problems. I say, no, I don't feel like this is like a hot flush. It's just like you are sweating. I was wondering, I say, this one has never happened to me. And because I was always the person who was more cold than warm and not sweat easily. I say, this is strange. So I noticed it and I say, this has never happened. This is strange. And as the time continues to the end of November, beginning of December, I was feeling something has happened with me, but I thought it's stress. I could not really get it. What was it? I only know my body feels somehow strange. I could not find out how. Like the complete body system was feeling wrong. But I go to orthopedic doctor, and he gave me some physiotherapy, everything, but then I go to him, I say, look, this is something systemic. I don't feel it has something to do with my bones, my muscles. This is a complete body problem. Mm, Luckily, he's told me, he said, you know what? I will write for you as a diagnose, because we are writing this diagnose if we doctors doesn't know what you have, but we know you have a systemic problem. And he wrote fibromyalgia. Do I say it correct in English? Fibromyalgia. Okay. And when I Google it, I have heard the word before, but I don't know really what it was. I say, but the symptoms are not really correspond to my own. But I say, okay, I have a diagnosis, it's better than nothing. And he gave me a prescription for rehabilitation. I go there, and actually they don't really do something. They give me some medication, and I took it, but okay. And what I was having very heavily, from the 2nd of January, I was sick. I was sick. I couldn't go to office anymore. Um, I was having heavy nerve pain. Like I thought I have shingles again. I couldn't sleep in the night. I have to get up to sit down in my bed for 1 hour before I could. So it was impossible to sleep. It was, I thought I got shingles again, but they didn't come. It was not shingles. And so I was having continuously pain in my body. Already in the 2023, when I get up from the chair, maybe I watch TV or something, I feel like if you see old people getting up from a chair, this is how I feel and how I was moving. I could not move my body. And so very strange symptoms. Even when I get up in the morning to go to office, before I was able to move my muscles, it took a while. It was like everything is very stiff and very strange. And then in the period when I was really sick, I got some symptoms like immediately, maybe when when I didn't move, I feel normal. I was not feeling pain. I was not feeling bad. When I sit down on the chair doing nothing, I was a healthy person. But in the moment when I start to move or to do something and I use my muscles, I was like, I have to sit down again to lie down. And then there was some strange stuff. Um, Sometimes I get a weakness. I always call it like, you are too weak to lie down. I cannot even explain it. You are so weak, you feel like you are falling into yourself, and even you are lying on the bed, you feel like you are even then too weak to lie down. Very strange. I could not. It's not possible to explain it. And like for example, to just and I have to do it, because if I don't do it, it will get worse. Also very difficult to explain. And so I even bought like a very small towel, long, big towel. Like I say, if it catches me on the street, I will lie down on the street no matter where I am, just to overcome this weakness. Because if I lie down for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it was getting better. Very strange. And my muscles reacted on walking, on movement. So if I have used, when I use my muscles, they fall into a slow motion mode. It's like when I'm walking for maybe 20 minutes, I cannot walk again normally. I'm walking in tip-top steps because even I don't have pain, my muscles didn't walk. They don't move. I was laughing to myself. I say, even 80 years old people would pass me because I was walking really slow, slow. I could not move my muscles. Yeah, very strange things. So, and then I watched this YouTube video, and I never thought it will help me. I thought, if something like this from the young boy is healing so many sicknesses, then it cannot be wrong to eat in this way. I never thought it can help me with my symptoms or my body. Already I was going walk from July, but I was still feeling not completely recovered. And I tell you, after a week of changing my diet, I know, oh my God, this is even helping to for my symptoms. And I think since then I never get back any of the symptoms anymore. They have just disappeared after a very short period, like I cannot really say, but let's say 2 weeks and finish. So since then I'm eating like this. I don't have sickness. I'm not sick anymore. And I have, like everybody says, energy and yeah, just a normal life again.
And so you're not experiencing any of those issues with your muscles now?
No, nothing. Also, I still have a little, I have to say, okay, I cannot say nothing because I have to remember my, from my legs, the big muscles on the tight, is it tight? They were always my problem since 2022 in the autumn when I said I could not walk. And I
Mm.
still have the feeling they have to heal a little longer. There were some damage made, maybe from the vitamin D um, low level or something. This big muscles, they still have to heal a little, but I only feel it like when I'm climbing steps. I'm living in the fourth floor, and I'm climbing steps. Like each step, then I cannot reach the up. But if I take every second step, I can reach the up. So it seems there is no endurance in these big muscles, but they are getting better and better. So I can say from 100% that the muscles were not walking, they are now walking like 98%. So
That's
yes,
fantastic. And you've only been doing it 3 months now,
yes. I started 28th of July,
right?
and I remember the date. So if you have something important in your life, you will remember the date.
Mm,
And
mm.
it was important for me because I loved fruits. I love vegetables. I love, I never eat really meat, not because I don't like it, but I never like the smell of the meat. And in the begin, when I was a child, I always eat raw meat from my mama when she prepared some food. My mama was laughing. She said, "Oh, what is this one?" And I always loved it, but of course I could not eat a pound because my mama needed for her cooking. And like we have in German, a raw, I don't know, you call it, I think, grounded meat, but is or minced meat or something. They have
Yeah,
different
mincemeat. Yeah,
minced meat.
mincemeat.
And we have in German like a food where you eat this minced meat with raw egg. You mix it. I think you hear about it.
Yeah, yeah. That's a thing in Japan as well. Yeah,
Okay, okay. So we love it, and you put like onions and salt and pepper, of course. And I know ever since I could finish a kilo of this minced meat, but always I thought it's not too healthy. You shall not eat too many of meat. So I always say no. I took a part, but I don't really eat many. And now when I know I can eat many, in the beginning when I started this kind of eating, I eat the meat raw, actually. I eat raw meat because I could not stand the smell of fried meat. And, but it makes my life more difficult to have always raw meat with me, maybe in office or something is not easy. So later on, I go to fried meat, what is okay now for me. And yeah, so that's it. So I eat like eggs. I can eat dairy. Um, I drink coffee. I have to admit, I love coffee since ever since, and I always said I will be very great. I'm very grateful to the person who invented the coffee, the first person who have roasted the beans, grounded it, and put a water on it. But my mind knows that is not good, and and I use a small cream for the coffee. So I never have problem with dairy, and I'm not gaining weight or something. I never have weight problems. Yeah. So, and actually I still eat a piece of chocolate or something if somebody give me a piece, but we are talking about a piece and not about a piece.
Right. So you're eating eggs,
Yes, many.
minced beef, things like that, and, like, this is 3 meals a day, 2 meals a day?
Um, I eat, I think I could eat one meal a day, but because I'm drinking coffee, I never liked to drink coffee on a empty stomach. Never. So what I do is I eat in the morning eggs with the coffee. So I do like an egg salad. It's not a salad really. I just match the eggs, put butter, a small piece of butter for each egg, and put salt and eat it as a salad. So I call it salad. It's like a matched eggs. And yeah, and then I drink my coffee. If I would not drink coffee, actually from my feeling of hunger, I would not need the eggs. I could wait maybe tea, one meal. I could eat one meal a day, actually, yes. Because I still try to eat tea I really full. Up till now, I want this feeling of I want to be full, not have the feeling that I have to snack in between, or I would like to eat something, because it's not that I have to eat then, but you cannot just go and buy something when you are on the road, or it's a little more difficult for people who eat meat. And you can buy, but the meat is not as clean, it's like processed meat or something. So yeah, normally I could eat, I think, one meal a day, but with the eggs, it's okay. So let's say it's 2 meals a day, but I don't need more. If I eat once, one big piece of meat, also part of meat, is okay.
And that second meal, you're having that for lunch?
Yes, it depends which time. I stopped eating on hours. I don't care if it's lunchtime or not. Even in my office, they go all to lunchtime. I say no, I will eat when I'm hungry. So I wait, and usually it's like maybe 2 o'clock in the 2 p.m. In the afternoon, and yeah, maybe even later. But yeah, this is how is my day now. I
Yeah.
think it's easy.
That's nice. Yeah,
Mm.
that's really nice. And what does your husband think about this? So
Oh,
he likes meat, but,
it's
like,
very funny. My husband likes meat, and I was always the person who told him, um, don't eat too many meat. It's not good. Actually, he's diabetic. I have to say it. He has diabetes. And my problem, I never forget, when he came home 10 years ago and he said he has diabetes, I said, I was thinking, I never told him, but I was thinking, oh, he has to drop the carbohydrate, but he cannot eat only meat because it's unhealthy. And so we never have a solution for this diabetes. And my husband, he see me eating like this, and he is very surprised because he knows I have never really eat meat. And he says he's scared uh, to try it himself like this. He say he want to watch me for 6 months. So if I'm okay after 6 months, he want to go more to this part. And I told him, I say, look, eat how you like. It's even good that you don't do it like me from one day to the next day. First, he has medication, all this stuff. And so you have to do it more slowly. And he already start to remove the carbohydrate a little bit. And I told him, I say, yes, I said, you try to make it for a year that you can remove all your diabetes medication. I want that you are healthy. After this one, when you have removed your medication, maybe you can still put small of vegetables, small of whatever you want. I know he will not want it anymore, because we all know it will change, but I give him the hope. And I told him, then you can still implement again the things you like to eat. And but I think I told him, you want to remove your medication. He said yes, so this is the way, I told him, and he understand it somehow. But he is not a person how will I say it? I always want to know the cause of something, but he is not this person who is go and study and reading. He is more the practical person. So for him, it's more difficult to understand why he's walking. Even I try to explain, but how will I say it? He's not able to concentrate enough to understand really the biology behind it. So he's watching me. If I survive, he will follow me.
That sounds so cute. If I
Mhm,
survive, he'll
mhm.
try it.
Yes, yes.
So,
But
but
he's
he,
supporting me very well.
yeah, and so
Mhm.
he can see that you are improving in those first 3 months,
Yes,
right?
yes. He said he was so scared when I was sick because nobody really could tell what I was having. I even go to in the night in to the emergency in the hospital because I was having so strange symptoms. So he knows how I was feeling, and he is so happy that I feel better. And he is even telling me, "Oh, Oksana, you know what? If we go to this and this city, they have cheaper meat, very good quality meat." And he's buying for me my meat, and so he's supporting it because he see how I feel now. That I have energy, that I am not weak anymore. I can. I don't know. Maybe he liked it more when I was more weak because I was more quiet. But no, no. But in general, of course, like all
Nice.
her wife or husband would feel better.
Mm,
Yes.
yeah. So, whereabouts are you in Germany?
I'm living in so close to Berlin, direct by the
Ah,
also
okay.
I'm living in Potsdam. This is, I don't know if you know, Berlin is in the center of um,
Right.
on the eastern part, and Berlin is surrounded by a state, Brandenburg state, and Potsdam is the capital of the Brandenburg state. So I can say I'm living in a capital city, but very close to Berlin. We don't have even space in between. We are direct. Yes.
So around your area, is it easy enough to get good quality meat and it's
Mm,
not too
is a
expensive?
little is ye- is how will I say it? Is a little, it's not, I'm sure it's possible, but it's a question of course, what you can afford. So we try to, as we are living very close to Berlin, and in Germany we have a very high um, population of Turkish people who are Muslims. And so we have, in Berlin, they have very big shops for like beef, lamb, all this, let's say, better meat. And the quality of the meat, if you enter the shop there, you will know, yes, this is, the meat is fresh, it's not packed, you know. And so it's possible to get it, but you have to know where. Because normally, of course, you are going to the supermarket, and if you want to have the, let's say, organic meat or something, they are, if you want to eat it every day, they are quite expensive. And so what I'm doing, I'm trying to mix it. um, I mean, in the beginning, of course, I feel we have a very good no, sorry, very big freezer before already. And so I stuffed it with the supermarket meat, but now I'm finishing the supermarket meat and we want to buy the better quality meat. And so what I still do is, because of the not too good quality meat, I'm adding fish to have a little bit of better ratio for the omega 3 and 6. And um, so anytime I'm eating like pork, I like to add fish to it. Also not inside, but to eat it with fish, or maybe next day to eat fish, to really have to check the really ratio. I know it's not a big deal, but of course I like to follow the, how will I say it? I want that it feels for myself like if I would have a better meat. Let's say it like this.
If one of your friends asked you about this way of eating and said, "I want to try," what would you recommend? What advice would you give them?
My advice would be, if you have holiday for 2 weeks, stay at home and do it from one day to the next day. But you need the holiday because of diarrhea or something, what can happen. And because this diarrhea it will be all over the internet if it will catch you on the street. So, I think everybody knows about what I'm talking. But if you are not able, of course, you reduce the carbohydrate first. My friend actually, when I told her about this food and I show her some YouTube videos because her daughter has some health problem, I taught for her daughter that she tell her, and she later she told me she have removed the carbohydrate from her food. So she is eating like vegetables and meat and fish, whatever, and she is trying to yes, removing the carbohydrate. And what I would still tell people, of course, what I still tell now, even if you don't want to do it, is two things. I understand, of course, the problem of the seed oils. I'm telling my friends, even you are eating like you are eating, no matter what you are eating, try to remove the seed oils from your diet. Keep maybe the olive oil in your in your kitchen, because you cannot tell people to remove olive oil. They will never do anything like this. So at least you will say, like, keep the olive oil if you want to make a salad or something, but remove all the other seed oils. And then the next question is, but what will I use then? And then you people forget, they really forget what to use. And then I'm telling them, you can use yeah, butter if it's not hot, but or you can use lard or actually this tallow is difficult to get in normal supermarkets in Germany, but you can get lard, or you can get how you call this butter,
Oh,
what you can use to
ghee.
ghee. Yes, ghee, yes. And this one you can get. So I tell people, use ghee or lard um, to cook. And yeah, they say, yeah, my grandma used it. I say, you see. So, and this is what I'm telling them. And the second thing, what I'm telling them is that they shall not try to eat the carbohydrate with high fat meat, because I about the Randall cycle. I understand that why meat looks bad, even if it's not, but there is something into it if you eat it with carbohydrate. And so, what I tell people, if you have a chance not to eat the meat with carbohydrate, if you can separate it, fine. Keep whatever you are eating, but vegetable oils and meat with carbohydrate is bad.
Yeah, very nice advice. So, Oksana, how can people reach out to you? Do you have any social media or any way of getting in contact?
So, this is my first appearance on social media. Um, I have a, but I'm in internet. We have. I don't know if I can. Do you think people would like to reach me? Because why? I'm just one of many people who have a lot of problems before, and now they don't have. So maybe they can contact you, and if they really have a question because of something, maybe somebody is around my area knows and is asking, somebody who speaks German. Okay, no problem. Um, so I don't have a really contact what I can give you, not because I don't want, but I don't really have. So, and of course, I don't want to give my email address publicly now. So maybe they can, if somebody want to contact, they can contact you. I think you would not have too many Oksanas on your um, video platform. If okay, yes, maybe you will have a blonde one day. So I'm with the dark one, with dark hair, and yeah. So yeah, I think through
No,
you it will
no
be
worries.
okay.
So, yeah, anyone wants to get in contact, they can email me and I'll just forward their details to you. Yeah.
Yes, okay. You have my
No
email address.
worries.
Yes. Mm.
Yeah. So, Oksana, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Can I say some? I add
Sure.
one thing. As I just said, I'm not on social media or something, but I feel what you are doing is important to collect all this, how they say it always like anecdotes, you know. And I feel it's important to collect all these anecdotes. And because of this, I contacted you, because the science and the, let's say, the money science, they will never do a really good research on it. And I think, how if you have a million of anecdotes, you cannot say again it's an anecdote, you know? So if everybody burns his hand by fire, you don't need five people more to say it's burning, you know? And so I feel if you have more and more people saying almost the same stuff, it was important for me not to be a part of it, but to add one number to it. And I think each number is counting if you have so many, how will I say it, zeros on the money, what is paid for other stuff.